So I've been trying to isolate the noise seen in the last video, just kind of this waviness. I started looking at maybe something on the VGA card, whether it was adding capacitors to the output lines, down to ground, trying to find if there was something on the card itself, looking at the connection between the motherboard and the ISA card. And at one point I disconnected the Arduino Nano from USB, and at that point all the noise pretty much vanished. Now later some of it came back, and I was trying to do some further troubleshooting, but it seemed like really isolating my 286 system containing the video card from a bunch of the other just noisy stuff in my utility on my bench basically seems to make a gigantic difference. And what you're going to see in this video is basically a recording where I've taken my benchtop power supply and plugged it into a different outlet, not plugged into the same power strip and battery backups that are really running my bench. I thought maybe the battery backups could be causing some of it. That wasn't it. It was more just simply isolating basically my power of my 286 and any other inputs. And I basically swapped the Nano to be driven by the power of the 286 motherboard, so it doesn't need USB power anymore. It can still take USB data, and it seems like just moving that power over and leaving my powered USB hub off for that port does reduce the noise. At the end of this video clip I load the face, and you'll see some noise on that, and that's still showing up, and it's a little bit different than the noise before. And I think it all comes down to, I don't know if it's some type of a ground loop or there's other just simply noise on that circuit. I have all kinds of different lights plugged into it and things like that, so I might try to do some further isolating of this, maybe even move it to a totally different circuit out of my house. So we'll see. Not a big deal, but I can say that this looks much cleaner just by simply getting my powered USB connection out of the Nano and maybe just trying to isolate power a little bit better. So if anything, I probably just need better power filtering coming into the 286 board. Any other suggestions that you might have, let me know, but I'll keep experimenting with this. The noise is not a big priority because, as I mentioned before, on the LCD itself everything looks really, really nice. It's just when I try to capture it using my PC. And again, that takes me back to there's some grounding issue between my PC, and it's plugged into a UPS, and the outlet strip that I'm using for some of this other equipment, along with battery backup that I have my benchtop power supplies running on. So something there, but I don't think it's necessarily the VGA card at fault at the moment. I think it's something outside of that.